How's it going, guys? My name's Kevil, and welcome back to a Palworld video. Today, I am just going to spend a little bit of time going over a random number of tips that I have discovered during my over 100 hours playing this game. And yeah, they're in no particular order, but hopefully some of them on here are ones that you have not seen yet. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, tip number one is really just from reading the patch notes, but the Lifmunk effigies have been fixed. It is worth going to get them now. Next, it might be worth having a bed or two near the PAL box. And the reason for this is because PALs will actually rescue PALs when they have been killed. So I'll roll a clip now. I have been raided, and some PALs were actually trying to carry the dead PALs to the beds to save them. And if you go into your PAL box menu, let's say you have a dead PAL, you can just drag them into the PALs at base. They will spawn right here in the PAL box, and then you can push them into this bed, and they will be revived instantly instead of waiting for the 10-minute timer in the PAL box. If I were to let this level 1 Anubis here get killed by these Syndicate thugs, eventually. So here I have a dead Anubis. If I drag it into here, it gives you the 10-minute timer. Well, I don't want to wait 10 minutes for this Anubis to come back. So if I drop it into the base, he'll just fall here dead. And then you just see he teleported to that bed. He is sleeping, and just like that, he's full HP again. And also level 8. Don't know where he got those levels from, but it's the same Anubis, as you can see down here. So this next tip is one I am shocked absolutely nobody else has been talking about that I've seen. So I'm going to collect some materials here from my mining camp. We are going to fast travel to my main base, which is over here. And here is the tip that I'm talking about. So if I walk over to this chest, I'm not going to click and drag these items over. I've got some items that I want in this chest. I'm just going to press R on my keyboard, and everything that can fit will go. So yeah, this is a really quick shortcut to move over all of the items that can fit in a chest immediately. So basically every time I get back from exploring, I hit this chest, and then those two in there, and that one right there next to my bed, and I press R on all of those, and my inventory is completely emptied back down to how I want it to be. I do not know if there's a button to do this on controller for the Xbox version of the game. I'm sorry. This next tip is a pretty common one, but as you condense PALs to reach 4 stars, their work suitability will actually go up by 1. So this Jet Dragon here, if I got him to 4 stars, that would become a 4 planting. This means that PALs that already have a level 4 activity at the base will go up to 5. So 5 is possible, and that is the fastest in the game right now. I am currently working on breeding enough Anubis so that I can have a 5-star base thing and see how quickly he can make PAL spheres for me. I think it'll be pretty dang fast. So that's what I'm currently working on, but here's the full list of all of them. For emitting fire is Yormantide Ignis, can reach level 5. For watering, it's regular Yormantide. For seeding, it is Lyleen. For generating electricity, it is Ozark. For crafting, it is Anubis. For harvesting plants, it is Frostallion Noct. For deforesting, there is currently no PAL that can reach level 5, but there are some that can reach level 4 through condensing, which is Bushi, Warsect, Wumpo, and Wumpo Baton. For mining, both Astagon and Blazamut can reach level 5. Currently, there is no PAL that can reach level 5 in medicine crafting, but Felbat, Lyleen, Lyleen Noct, and Veilette can reach level 4. For cooling, Frostallion is the only one that can reach 5. And for farming on the ranch, there is no way to reach level 5. It says it reaches level 2 when you finish condensing, but it doesn't really change anything. I did some testing. That'll be the next video I put out. It's kind of disappointing, the results that I found. For this next tip, I have to give a shout out to Mr. Blump on YouTube. who commented on one of my videos and told me that you can breed certain pals together to get shadow claws and butcher them for tech manuals. So that got me thinking, are there any other options? Because shadow claws are kind of hard. That's a very late game thing. What is the earliest game thing you can do? So I took a look. There are currently 4 pals in the game that can drop tech points, which is Shadowbeak, Lyleen Knocked, Lyleen, and Anubis. The most interesting one is Anubis, because you can breed for Anubis extremely early. There are so many breeding combinations for Anubis. I'm not sure which one is the true easiest to do, but 2 of the notable ones, in my opinion, if you catch a Serpent and an Incineram, both which can be caught in Windswept Hills, that will breed for Anubis. And the second option is to catch a Sweepa and a Tombat, which will breed for Anubis, and both of those are also attainable in Windswept Hills. However, Anubis only has a 5% drop chance. We could double that by doing the Lyleen, which is a little bit more difficult to get our hands on, but still easier than the Shadowbeak. Shadowbeak requires you to catch Astagon, which is a very endgame boss, and then a Kitsune, where Lyleen is just a Masanda and a Petilia. Both of these can be caught very mid-game, and if we breed for a bunch of Lyleens, then we have a pretty good chance of getting some tech manuals. So go and capture some Masanda in this area. Masandi are pretty easy to find here. They're level 27. Might need a higher level sphere to capture them. And then you just need to come here to the first sanctuary, which is the lowest level sanctuary. Pals here are only level 20, and catch yourself a Petilia. And there, with an Ultra Sphere and a back bonus, I have a 66% chance of catching, which isn't too bad. So now we can breed our Petilia with the Masandi that we've caught, and we can breed for tech points. And this leads me to my next tip. You can come here and poach all of the pals that you want, assuming you can hit the pals. You can come here and poach all of the pals that you want as long as you don't get off your mount. You'll see I am not doing any criminal activity because I am currently mounted on my jet dragon. Doesn't matter who you're mounted on, what pal, any pal works. Just don't get off your mount, and these guys don't even care that you're here. You can even poach right in front of them, and they don't even react. Only when I get off my pal that it's considered criminal activity underway. And like that, our Masanda and Petilia have bred together to get me a huge verdant egg. That brings me a Lyleen right there in my inventory. I can throw her out, hold 4 with the knife out, and butcher for a chance at some tech points. So no luck there with the tech points, but I could leave these 2 breeding for quite a long time, get as many eggs as I want, and then butcher them all in one go for some tech points. This isn't a super fast way to get tech points, but you could just leave this running in the background, go do your farms down here at the sanctuaries, and yeah, just keep doing it until you get the maxed out tech points, which I still have quite a long way to go. I think I'm only down to 21 of getting everything, so I've got a lot of tech points I still need to collect if I want to own everything in the game. While we're on the topic of butchering, all of the pals with the red symbol right here, the monster symbol, that means it's an alpha pal, which basically means you caught it in the wild. So if we look for this Anubis here, this is one that I caught in the wild, so he is an alpha version of these ones, which I just bred for. So these wouldn't actually give me the chance of the drop, but this Anubis right here would give me a chance at the drop. So if I go ahead and put him in my inventory, and I swap to the level 47 Anubis, I could throw him out, butcher, and I have another chance at getting the legendary schematic that he has. So I did not get it that time, but you'll see I got the Pal Souls and the precious entrails in the ancient Civ parts. So it gets you another chance at the ancient civ parts. You could do it again with this coward jet dragon. So I'm gonna put away the jet dragon I currently fly with, so I don't accidentally butcher that one. But we put him out. We try to butcher the jet dragon. Big old blurring of the screen. And let's see, did we get a schematic? I didn't see any items drop. I'm pretty sure the items fell through the world. Well, hopefully I didn't get the schematics that time around, because my items are probably falling through the world. Let's try this again somewhere higher up. So I guess a second part to this tip is if you are going to be butchering pals, maybe you should do it. Maybe you should do it on a raised up platform like this, so that way when you butcher, if the items were to fall through the map, they'll instead just fall into your house. So let's see, where'd the items go? Yep. And there, I got, no way! I accidentally got the rocket launcher schematic. You just saw it here. You could definitely get some legendary items doing this. And when did I get the metal armor schematic for? I'm not even sure when this dropped. I must have missed it during this specific recording. I don't remember that dropping. But yeah, we now have the legendary rocket launcher, which means I can go on my map and delete this pin. So all of the skulls that are still on the map are the legendaries I haven't gotten yet. I've been really lucky. I got Blasmute, and now I got the legendary rocket launcher. So definitely be playing around with that after I'm done recording this tips video. But there you go. Yeah, you can butcher for extra chances. So let's say you just finished crafting a bunch of cement like I did, and you are now walking around overweight. You probably already know this, but you can use a grappling gun to move quicker to a chest that you want to put your stuff in. So there, now I can move again. Well, we're here, let's talk about another money-making method. Now, I didn't find this one myself, but basically, if you set up a base that automatically farms ore for you, you can just get tons of money in the late game by crafting and selling nails. So anytime you don't need ore for pal spheres, just craft it into some ingots, have a pal smelt it up, run over here, and what I like to do is I have two of these product assembly line 2s. I will use one of them to make carbon fiber with all of the excess coal that I have left over, and I will have the other one make nails with all of the ingots that I'm not using. So I'll max both of those out. Those will craft over time, but if we come and grab what I've already crafted, go to any trader whatsoever, sell all of the carbon fiber you crafted for a little bit of cash, but you're not going to use the coal otherwise, you might as well sell it. And then the nails for a large amount of cash, and yeah, keep up the gold that way. Then you can go ahead and buy whatever ammo you want and whatever supplies you need. So, you know, obviously bones are really good because you need bones to make concrete. And over here, this guy sells ammo, so you can basically just always keep up with ammo instead of crafting it. Well, crafting the ammo might use less ore than the selling for gold method. Ore is infinite, and I don't ever have to go mining for sulfur, and I don't have to worry about smelting wood into charcoal to make gunpowder. I just skip that step completely. So this next tip is for if you have problems like me, where pals get stuck on top of specific objects. Like right here, this Yormantide Ignis is stuck on top of this Statue of Power. I used to have a problem where pals would always get stuck on top of this silo and this electricity pole. And then I also would have problems with pals getting stuck on top of the tree cutting place, the logging camp or whatever. So for the logging camp, I just built a little roof over it. No one gets stuck on it anymore. I know it's kind of ugly, but it prevents that glitch. The Statue of Power, I'm definitely going to have to probably move back and put a roof over it so this guy stops getting stuck on top of it. And then Over here, just that one piece of roof covering these two items makes it so that pals don't get stuck on them anymore. For some reason, Grizzbolt specifically would get stuck on this every single day. He would just sit on the silo and never produce electricity for my base. But moving it over there and putting a roof on it fixed the problem. And even when I just moved it over there without the roof, he would still find his way over and sit on top of it, even though the electricity thing is all the way over here. I used to have the silo over here because it looked nice next to the plants, but I had to move it because pals would like to just sit on top of it and get stuck forever, and they would start getting hungry, and yeah, just that's one solution. So what I'll definitely do is I'll move this back and put a roof over it, and that'll fix the problem. Before I speedrun the remaining tips, I want to give a quick thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos recently and subscribing. It really means a lot to me. This is some of the, most success I've seen ever on YouTube, and I'm, really appreciative of everybody, and yeah, I'm really enjoying Palworld, and I'm glad you guys are still enjoying it. I don't know what I'm going to do when this game dies. I don't. But let's speedrun the rest of these tips. Pals only eat from left to right out of the pal box, so put the thing that you want them to eat on the left and the thing you want them to never eat over on the right. Simple as that. Cake that you place in an empty breeding farm will never despawn. The timer doesn't go down. Once you unlock it, the sword is the best thing for cutting trees and farming stone, and it opens up an extra slot so you can have a grappling gun. Putting merchants in your base will give you the ability to buy and sell from them at any moment. And with the PAL marketeers in general, if you don't like their current selection, all you have to do is put them back in the box. And when you bring them back out, they will have a different selection of PALs to choose from. In theory, you could use this to get certain traits that you want for breeding. Certain PALs have this gift icon for their partner skill. All of them cause different drops to come from different PALs. Ozark is a standout for me because while fighting together, water pals drop more items when defeated. This means that if you have an Ozark in your party and you go farm for pal fluids, you will get more drops. And this increases depending on how many times you use a pal condenser with this pal. It is a 40% increase at level 1 and a 80% increase at level 5. It's safe to assume that this is a bug that will get patched out, but currently mounts have no fall damage, so you can fall as high as you want and safely hit the ground without taking any damage. And my very last tip for you guys is to play the game how you want. You don't need to build specific farms to min-max your progress. Like, just play the game, have fun. It's an open world survival game. Do it how you want. I haven't really played around on servers yet, but I definitely plan to one of these days. I don't fully agree with the way that everybody wants to just fly to the end of the game and move on with it. I like taking my time with these types of games, and Palworld has been a really fun one. There's a lot that I still haven't done, a lot that I still haven't seen. I haven't even finished my Pal decks yet. So just, play it how you want, put your base where you want. You can build anywhere on the map. I built here because I think it's a pretty area. And, I put this one here because it's also a nice, big, flat, pretty area. This is really the only base that I put down out of necessity because, if this is where there's a lot of coal and ore that you can mine. But besides that, just kind of do what you want, play how you want, make your settings how you want. There's no correct way to play these types of games. And with that, I will see you in the next one. My name's Kevil, and goodbye!